This video right here will be coming out on Thursday, and I meant to have this video out on Monday, and then I meant to have it out on Tuesday, but obviously it's been getting delayed. So we're going to be talking a little bit about cuckolding and open marriages. It was supposed to be about just strictly open marriages, but then again, at the same time, you might as well go ahead and throw cuckolding into this video as well, because it's obviously something that's been going on for a while. And I don't think anybody's properly explained to people like I'm about to show you here in a second that letting your wife sleep with other men is not exactly what we call manly. That right there was a TikTok influencer who essentially said that men who don't let other dudes rail their wives are basically not masculine. Yeah, there's a lot of problems with this, okay? So first and foremost, when you do this type of thing, you're promoting mass degeneracy. And last I checked, the idea behind marriage was to have a family. It's supposed to be based upon some form of trust, loyalty, all that type of stuff there. You're making babies with this woman. Obviously, you want to protect this woman. And I do understand that infidelity does happen from time to time, especially on both sides of the aisle. Don't get me started on that. But the thing is this right here, actually allowing another guy to sleep with your wife, especially in front of you, is not exactly what we call manly, and it also sends an extremely bad example to other men. Now, guys, there are some clips here. We're going to be using a couple of examples here. We're going to be going back to the whole Jack Murphy cuckold thing. Don't worry, we'll get to that in a second. There's also another clip that this guy had here, and we're running back the first clip to go along with this one here. Also, another content creator had actually commented on that. Don't worry, the video will be in the description box. Of course, that commentator, that content creator, of course, is this guy here, who, by the way, also followed me on Twitter here recently. Kind of proud of that, even though my account's relatively small. And we're also going to be bringing up the blue-haired guy, Destiny 2, in this video. So make sure you guys stick around for the full video. So let's go ahead and get into this. So why is it that you get married? You find a woman that you love. You find a woman that you cherish. You find a lady that you're so madly in love with, she fits almost like a glove. Now, we could talk about alimony and divorce and all that stuff in another video, but I want to focus strictly on the institution of marriage, okay? Now, do men who are actual men and not soy boy leftists, do men who actually get involved with a woman with the intention to marry, do they normally allow other guys to sleep with their wives? No, they do not. As a matter of fact, if a man finds out that his wife cheated on him, the very first thing he's probably going to do is he's probably going to flip a bitch, is how we like to call it here in the South. He's probably going to go crazy. He's probably going to want to beat the hell out of that guy, and he's definitely going to be extremely angry with her. By the way, men, I do not condone beating your wife. I just want you to know that right now. I do understand that obviously sometimes you may talk to someone a certain way or whatnot, but I do not condone beating your wife or doing anything that would be classified as abuse or anything like that. Just want you to go ahead and know that right now. And I don't think anybody here on this platform would actually condone that. But still, at the same time, though, this is going to be a relatively lengthy topic, and I'm going to try to do this as quick and concise and try to be as poignant as I can be. You don't let other men sleep with your wife. And I know it sounds repetitive, but in reality, like I said, why do you get married? You get married for the sole purpose of creating a family. You're also looking at creating a possible morbid experience for your child. I've oftentimes looked at guys who think that it's okay to be nude in front of their kids, who think it's actually okay for their kids to experience. I've oftentimes wondered why the hell it is that they would do that, because the only thing you're doing is desensitizing that child's mind. It's the same exact thing, especially if a child has got to go to school the next day, and of course another child knows that his daddy let this other kid's daddy come in there and rail his mommy. Yeah, that's kind of a problem. It's kind of an issue. It's pretty well embarrassing. But then again, though, we live in a society where a lot of men don't want to have kids or have children. And a lot of people who are on that side of the aisle think that it's a good idea to come after our kids. You know, gee, the kids, this, that, and the other. Can't actually say it here on YouTube. Probably get in trouble. Oh, fuck it. Grooming. Okay, so we just want to go ahead and get that out of the way, all right? Then you get this soy boy here. Now, guys, I'm going to go ahead and let like the next 4 minutes roll. There's going to be an answer to this from the content creator that I mentioned earlier. Let's go ahead and roll this, and we'll come back on the other side.
Folks, today we're going to talk about things that aren't necessarily dog whistles, but are, at least in my opinion, pretty big red flags, and will make me instantly suspicious if I see them in anyone's profile. If you've got the Orthodox cross, anywhere in your bio. If you don't know what that is, it's pretty easy to Google. Just Google the Orthodox cross.
Fragile masculine ego or something like that. And it really blows my mind that this is something that's been pushed out here by people. But I want to go ahead and roll this video because it's pretty hilarious.
This comment reads, does your wife's boyfriend enjoy these videos? Well, first of all, I don't have a wife. I have a spouse. They're non-binary, and we don't use gendered language in this household. Their partner is also non-binary and doesn't use gendered language. So, yes, to answer your question, my spouse's partner does enjoy these videos. In fact, my spouse's partner and I are very good friends. I've known them longer than my spouse has. Me, my spouse's partner, and my spouse's partner's partner were all in Scotland not that long ago for a lovely vacation. It's called ethical non-monogamy, or polyamory. Maybe you've heard of it. I don't know why you think this is an insult in any way, shape, or form. Listen, just because your sense of masculinity is so fragile that it would lose out to tissue paper and durability test doesn't mean mine is. Anyway, have a day.
Yeah, so I assume that this video only makes sense in a world where you can't have a fragile masculine ego, or you can't break his fragile masculine ego if you don't have any masculinity to begin with, right? It's just hilarious to say that we don't use gendered language in this household, and then to say that he has a masculine ego. We're truly living in clown world here, okay?
What is being a man? Seriously, what is being a man? You see, to me, this right here feels like the soy left, just screaming toxic masculinity. Basically, what they are telling men is that you are not supposed to be men. You're supposed to just lay down and take it. Let this other guy come on in here and rail your wife. Let this other guy come on in here and screw your girlfriend. Let this guy come on in here and screw your mother, screw your sister. That's basically what it is. You see, this is an extremely bad message because you're teaching men not to actually fight for themselves, and it could lead to a period at some point in time where said man could not have, how do I say this, may have a complete lack of respect for your domain, and he just may go in there and just start sleeping with your wife anyways. By the way, the mere fact that she's doing that and she's okay with that should tell you right away that you should not be involved or married to her. She'll also take your money from you someday. Don't worry, we'll get to that in a second when we talk about the blue-haired guy. Fact of the matter is, it's not masculine. It's not masculine at all, and we have an extremely hardcore masculine crisis right now where men are being feminized left, right, and center. It's just the way that it is. Not a good message, something that quite frankly should not be taught to other men. Men should be men as far as men should actually be real men as far as actually being masculine. Does that mean be a jerk? No. Then again, though, of course, according to the left, we're all a bunch of toxic morons. But let me go ahead and say it right now. Toxic masculinity has been saving lives since 1776. Then we get to the weird topic of fetishes or cuckolding, which, by the way, cuckolding is kind of viewed as a fetish. I think it's an extremely weird fetish. I'm pretty sure you guys remember Jack Murphy. I'm showing you guys some of the stuff here in the cutaway. Obviously, you guys remember the Jack Murphy Sidney Watson incident.
Advertisers. That's why we try to get through all of these and read all your
All right,
comments.
I got a few
Even
more.
if you're trapping me. No, I want to read this one first. Because I started it, and I'm going to finish what I started. Anamorphosis says, Elijah, and I apologize for this in advance, Jack, asked Murphy about the article he wrote about literally cuckolding his wife. I wish I was joking. True alpha.
Wow. Wow, you went there with that. I have absolutely no comment on that other than to say that whatever people's perception is about that, it's 180 degrees wrong. And it has nothing to do with people think what they're thinking it to be today.
Are we talking about sex right now?
Do you know what cuckolding is?
I totally thought
It's
you were
where
reading...
you get a chicken and you hold it. And
no,
you love it.
I just blanked
And
out
then
for a
you-
second.
You make more chickens.
I just blanked out for a second.
I support you having chickens.
We
I
don't
have
kink
chickens.
shame.
I like chickens.
If you have a hen house, that's great. That's you should have your own eggs. Great.
We don't
supply,
kink shame.
Great for protein.
You are here does not kink shame. I want to bring that out, that we do not kink shame. If you don't want to have, if you hate women, don't want to have any sex at all, that's your lifestyle. Or if you're a nude model, that's your lifestyle.
You can in fact be, and you can be both at the same time.
Or if you want to sleep with trans Elijah, you know, Ellie Schaefer.
Literally,
If you want to breed
if
him,
you want to have
that's
sex
what
with
I'm
my listening is
ankles.
laughing, like she'll be like, How is it then that if like
Are we gonna do the ovens and the cookies?
Yeah,
thing now?
no. She'll read she'll
Yeah,
read
we'll get
something
there.
so innocently. She'll be like,
We'll get there.
But they're so good and they'll be like, I love carpentry and building things, and I built a wood door for my shower, but the steam still got out while I was showering. How could wood keep steam in the shower and keep the gases in? And she'll read it. And she'll be like, I don't know. I maybe like she'll like respond. Maybe get like a different type of a glass door. She reads it like that's normal. Like it's not even. She's not even saying. I'm not gonna skip the name. She just goes, Mr. Dukenball said.
Could you please clear up the cuck article you wrote?
I am not going to talk about
Again?
this.
Okay.
And basically, you know what? Fuck you
Me.
for bringing this up right here and right now.
Me.
Why are you doing this to me?
I didn't know that. I didn't know what it was.
Well, just use a little bit of fucking common sense.
Sorry, apologies.
Yeah. Fuck you.
Elizabeth
Heartfelt.
Harrison says, gonna miss the show, but have a good break. IHTAC, what's that? What?
Nothing. I literally was just coughing.
Murphy was exposed as an extreme fraud. Okay, check it out. He had this whole liminal order thing where he was basically charging men $100 a month to basically learn to be a man. It's not a good example that he was setting because he was allowing his wife or his girlfriend to basically go out there and do other dudes. By the way, he was also allowing his wife to do certain acts on him. Now, guys, really quick, I do not care what it is that you do behind closed doors with your wife, okay? A lot of very, very weird stuff, a lot of sexual fetish games, including pegging, which I've never really and truly understood. I understand we're getting on some extremely risque topics here, but the fact of the matter is this, right? I don't care what you do behind closed doors as long as you're with your wife. But the mere fact that you want to watch your wife do other dudes, that borders mental illness, and it's not exactly what we call a masculine trait. It's also not a masculine trait to talk down to a woman when you get a chance or an opportunity and you get angry. I mean, Jack Murphy prided himself on being the masculine man, but yet at the same time, though, it was pretty obvious with his damn voice tone and how he screamed at poor Sidney Watson right then that he didn't exactly come off as the masculine man that he claimed he wanted to be. So you want somebody to pay you $100 a month so that way you can scream and whine like a girl at another girl? Come on, dude. Now we get to the blue-haired guy. Now, guys, really quick, I'm going to leave this video right here in the description box. Okay, as apparently Leafy leaked some nudes of Melina or whatnot. And by the way, I'm not doing this video to insult Destiny or anything. I'm just simply having a bit of a disagreement here. That video will be in the description box, by the way. So, here's the problem with being in open marriages. What you're seeing right now. You're a streamer, and your wife gets up and starts dancing with another guy. And by the way, we all know that his wife does other dudes. We all know this. Pay very, very close attention to his facial expression when he just sits there for a while. Just pay very close attention to his facial expression. And I'll keep running his facial expressions. I'll keep running them, okay? I will keep running the facial expressions for you guys because it is pretty obvious that somebody who, and by the way, anytime Destiny is pressed on this, he'll say something like, why are you so interested in my wife? Well, it's a very, very easy answer to that question, dude. The reason why men are interested in your wife is because it's pretty obvious that your wife puts out to every man, not name you. That's the reason why. It's a very, very common sense answer. He got into a debate with Milo Yiannopoulos, and I wish I could. Hold up.
Uh-oh.
Okay.
Mel time.
Why did I say this?
Mel time. It's Mel
Oh,
time.
she got the form. Okay, so we're just doing salsa. We're just going.
Yep. Right. Yeah?
Yeah. See?
Is that okay?
Yeah. There you go. Hey.
Okay. It kind
See?
of works. Yeah.
5, 6, 7, 1. 5, 6, 7, 1. 5, 6, 7. Hey, she can really do it.
Nice
She can really do it. No, don't be so shy. You got this.
Because I've done it so long.
That's fine. That's fine. I can tell you were like a little bit strange. You good?
Yeah.
Yeah. You want to know how she knew what she was doing? She did this. She went. That's how I knew, man. She started flexing them shoulders and them traps. I was like, oh, she's not fucking playing.
Damn. I was getting footage for his next cuck video on me. Thanks. I see what's going on here.
Oh my God, he let his wife dance with another
Bro.
man.
He said, "And what? You want to slap
They
her
make it
next?"
sound like we was grinding or some shit. Like, yo, chill, be
Box
easy.
for you guys, and you can kind of see Destiny's facial expression there. He was a little bit obviously upset because Milo was bringing it up. By the way, Milo has his own issues. We all know that he's got a grift going on like always, but still at the same time though, dude, Milo was gay at one time, not exactly known to be the most masculine figure in the world, but he's definitely a lot more masculine than you, bro. But let me just go ahead and say this really quick, okay? You obviously saw that. You see the facial expressions. You see how it is that it's just cringe, okay? By the way, other problems with open marriages include this here, and I understand that Destiny may be screwing other women too, or other dudes or whatever. I don't really care. But let me go ahead and say this, okay? You're running the risk of a lot of STDs, number one. You're running the risk of massive amounts of humiliation. People look down on you, okay? And don't even get me started in his whole past, because Brittany Venti did a video on him a long time ago, 2 videos on him a long time ago that I think actually broke down his character or what he was before this sudden moderate push, which, by the way, is still very, very far left. The guy's an extremely skilled debater. He's obviously an extremely successful person, but people oftentimes look at that and you think to yourself, well, I can just say that, why do you care about my wife? Why are you so interested in my wife? This, that, and the other. Which, by the way, you'll see in the I Hypocrite video that he was obviously pretty damn pissed off that his wife's nudes were actually leaked, or his wife's breasts were actually leaked. I'm not going to comment on that because I personally have never seen them and quite frankly don't care to see Melina's. But still, at the same time, though, dude, you got this guy dancing with your wife, ABBA, of course. The people see this, and people obviously know that they actually see the cuckolding in real life rather than just hearing about it. And you now know that they see this. It's obviously going to change your mind. Maybe not change your mind, but it's definitely going to make you think twice about it. Also, something else to this little clip here.
You're in an open relationship. What's that like? From a game theoretic simulation perspective, what went into that calculation? And like, how does that...
Like how that started? Or
Yeah, how did that start? Sure.
The only relationships I've ever done has been open relationships since I was like in high school. Because I didn't really understand like why wouldn't you be able to like do other things with other people, but then just like have your main partner basically.
So what is an open relationship, generally speaking? That means you have one main partner?
Not a monogamous relationship. Like you're somehow allowed like in different ways. You can see other people sexually.
Sexually, but like there's one main...
Yeah, or it doesn't
station.
have to be that for some people, but like
Okay.
I think it's probably easier, and we probably don't really have time or the energy for like more than like one person to like really like.
What about like emotional?
It's really complicated. There's a lot of complicated stuff going on under the hood there.
Like in different ways. You can see other people sexually.
Sexually, but like there's one main...
Yeah, or it doesn't have
station.
to be that for some people, but like I
Okay.
think it's probably easier, and we probably don't really have time or the energy for like more than like one person to like really.
I think broadly speaking, you've got like polyamorous relationships and you've got like open relationships, where polyamorous is like, oh, I've got like 3 different girlfriends and we all hang out or sometimes even live together, or 3 boyfriends, whatever. And then you've got like open relationships, which is like, oh, you know, like you can basically hook up with other people, and then you've got like your main relationship and that's it. I think ours is probably somewhere in the middle, of that, to where like we've got like long-term friends, some of them we hook up with, and that's kind of how we, it's a delicate dance that explodes every 6 months on itself.
So it does explode. You guys fight over it?
We fight over some things, yeah. Things happen, yeah.
I think it's mostly because a lot of people can't handle it, and they agree to something, and then they realize that we're way too cool, and then they get really obsessed, and they think that they can like get in there, and then it gets really dramatic.
Have you figured it out? Like, it seems like a
I
complicated
feel
dance.
like we figure out things more and more, like when it comes to like what's a good person for us to hang out and what's not a good person for us to hang out with, or like I probably have more opinions on like who he hangs out with because he likes the fucking psychos.
Yeah, so you like to surround...
He likes the not like the crazy ones, like the baby trap sort of women. That's
Yeah.
that's the ones, and
So
I
the
don't like
crazier-
that because that affects me.
That right there was from the Lex Fridman podcast. Now, she's saying that she'll only get involved in open relationships. And you guys see his facial expression right there at the end. He's not okay with it. I'm sorry, but no man is okay with it. It makes you wonder what the real truth about this entire relationship is. Is it possible that this guy has got an issue with self-esteem? Is it possible that this guy just does not want to be lonely? Is that possible? Is it possible that he's so desperate for some female attention, that he doesn't care if she bones other dudes. By the way, this same chick, 2 or 3 years from now, you know what she's going to do? She's going to use your name for clout. She's already been doing it, doing these little debates with Myron from Fresh and Fit and you know, all those guys there. You can go on Twitter. I mean, I think it's mostly Peaceful Latinas podcast. They've been bringing this up as well. And she's been going out there and giving her personal opinions on things. Of course, open marriage is definitely going to become a part of this. And it may even create another problem where a lot of much, much more weak-willed men, beta males, just may fall in line with it, which, by the way, doesn't surprise me because they're beta males and that's just what the hell they do. It makes me believe that at some point in time, this particular person is just using your name for clout. She's going to get a following, and after a while, she's not going to need you, and then she's going to turn right back around and turn that little empire that you've created into, let's just say, not an empire by taking all your stuff. It's not masculine. It's extremely weak. It also leads to the possibility of multiple sexually transmitted disorders. It also tells the woman that she can steal on you. It also tells the woman that she can use your name. She can use your name for clout. It's a grift. She can make money off you while in the meantime leaving you with nothing. It tells people that you're actually a very lonely person deep down inside. Those are the problems with open marriages. And I'm pretty sure we could find many, 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 many more people out there who say that. Now, look, guys, there's an old saying. You can't please everybody in the world. Obviously, you know, you can't worry about what people think about you. However, that comment, like any other comment, comes with a price. As to what extent? If everybody in town, everybody in the world knows that your wife does other dudes, okay, and that you're okay with it, you will never be respected outside the content sphere. Dudes can just walk up, take your wife, and do whatever. While at the same time, she gets the pleasure of that other guy and then turns right back around and uses your name for clout, uses that name for grift. People often, and by the way, if this person even leaves, every other woman that comes into your life is going to know that you're easy and that you're weak. Which, by the way, makes me instantly think of this little moment from the Lex Fridman podcast.
Themselves as center are legitimately spineless cowards and deserve to be called out. I've
never killed a man, but today might be my first.
Oh no.
I'll take over like I told you.
Coward there. The truth be told is that men that allow other women to go screw other men, or excuse me, men that allow their wives to just get ramrodded by other dudes, it tells me that they're extremely weak. And it also tells me that they are cowards. Notice how he said something, and then all of a sudden, the minute somebody actually put forward a somewhat of a joking threat, that it immediately made him cower. This is one of the main reasons why it is I don't do debates and probably never will do a debate. This guy's an extremely good debater, extremely successful. But the minute somebody says something that could be taken as a joke, you immediately want to cower down. You look like your body language went down. Yeah. It tells you that men that actually allow their women to sleep around on them, they're just good old-fashioned weak and masculine men. Fact of the matter is that it emasculates a man. It's no different than actually pulling the private parts off and making him walk around the rest of their life as a eunuch. That's the truth about the whole open marriage thing. I think that men that get involved in these open marriages and are okay with these open marriages, even if they are screwing other women, don't seem to realize that she is more than likely going out there and getting more men than you are women. Like I said, it leads to nothing but heartbreak. It leads to nothing but regret. It leads to STDs. It also leads to potential mental and emotional issues. It's also wasting your life, and it's also allowing that individual to grift off you and also make money off your name and use it for clout at a later date and a later time. I just figured I'd go ahead and throw these thoughts out here. Guys, John Claymore, if you like this content, please hit the like button, subscribe, share the video, sound off in the comment section. If you feel I've earned your subscription, please hit the subscribe button. Also, at the same time, make sure you guys hit that notifications bell. One more thing, too. Please leave a comment in the comment section. This video here will be out on Thursday, and I will see you guys later.